What is up, my friends? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Beck. I'm a new grad nurse working in the ER, and we are going to navigate being new nurses together. So, you want to work in the ER? Let's talk about it. There's a storm happening, and my dogs are very scared. Good girl. There's a good girl, Mom. I know. Oh, she's like, I would also like to be on camera, Mother. He's a little chunky, so he has a little hard time getting up here. So these are a couple of things that I have learned over my short time in the ER that I think is really important to your everyday care of patients and how you really focus on your day, the things that you do, how you can kind of make things go a little bit smoother for you. So without further rambling, let's get into it. Okay, the biggest thing that you need to focus on is prioritizing your patients. And I know that we've talked about this in a sort of box of testing content, but let's talk about it in like real life and how this is going to apply to your work as a nurse. When I get to work, the first thing we do is get shift report from one another. And in doing that, I am trying to assess immediately 1 to 4 or 1 to 5 if I walk into 5 patients, which is not a fun time, but oh well. So whatever it is, 1 to 4, 1 to 5. I'm trying to navigate who is the most sick patient that I have. They could all be med-surg holds that were waiting to go upstairs, and I'm gonna have my hands full. God bless the med-surg nurses that do all the things that I don't want to do. Angels. Anyone who works in med-surg, you're an angel. So some days I could have like 5 med-surg holds in the ER waiting for a bed upstairs. And I could come into that kind of day, or I could come into 4 or 5 empty beds and start filling those up and just like turning. And Davy would like to make an appearance as well. Say hello, sir. I don't know if you can hear him purring, but he purrs very loud, and he is currently purring in my ear. Anyway. So I could come into 5 med-surg patients, or I could come into 5 empty beds and just turn and burn ER patients all day. It really depends. Whatever the case may be, you need to understand how to prioritize what you're coming into. So you know who needs the most of your attention. And I don't like to use the word attention because all of your patients deserve your attention, and in a perfect world would be evenly divided among everybody, but there are just going to be some people that are not as sick as others, and that's okay. So learning how to prioritize your patients in a real world way is going to be very beneficial to you in helping you understand how to care for and who to care for in what way as you go throughout your day. So navigating who is the sickest patient in that moment is going to be very helpful for you in navigating how you're going to break down your day, how you're going to care for these people, and the care that you're going to provide. So definitely try and master prioritization. If you're starting your preceptorship or just getting off your preceptorship, wherever you are in this process, talk to your preceptor about it. If they're worth any salt. What is it saying? If they're worth it. If they're worth their salt. Something about salt and being worth it. But whatever. If they're a decent human being, they will let you like bounce these things off of them and say, hey, I think room 1 is gonna be our number 1 highest priority patient. I think room 3 is gonna be number 2, and so forth. Then they'll help you kind of nail down your ability to read from across the room who may need you the most that day. And that's perfectly acceptable way to like start honing this skill and start like practicing in your mind what's going to be best for these patients. Very important, definitely focus on prioritization. The next thing that I think is super important is taking your time. I think that it's so hard as nurses in general, and let me be the first to say, sometimes the time is not there. It does not matter what you have to do or how fast you're doing it. There's not enough time in the day to take care of people sometimes in the way that they need to be taken care of. And that is such an unfortunate reality in medicine. But if I could give you any piece of advice, it would truly be to take your time as you're taking care of these patients. Give people a voice, let them tell you how they're feeling. Don't rush the other aspects of their care either. When you have any patient, you never want to rush the care that you're providing them, whether it be changing them, whether it be giving them medication, whether it be listening to them for a moment. And I understand, again, Papa will want to tell you his life story and you can't, and I get it. And you have to find a break in that conversation to be like, sir, I'm so glad that you're sharing this with me, and I'm so happy to come back and listen as soon as I can. I do need to go run and do a couple other things, but I will be back to check on you. Is there anything else that I can do for you? You know, so give people the care that you would want your family receiving, that you would want to receive, and don't perform subpar care just to get to the next patient, to also perform subpar care and keep a pattern of doing something that's really not fulfilling. But I really hope that you keep in the back of your mind that taking your time to take care of these patients is so, so important. And it really will help them heal. It will help them feel better. It will make them trust you as their nurse. So just try and find the balance between doing your job and giving your patients the time that they need as you care for them. It will make it so much easier for you. Oh my goodness. Write things down. Okay, so now I am recording at a slightly different angle because the sun is coming through those windows. It was not coming through those windows before, and now it is causing terrible light. I'm working on the lighting situation and the best area of my house to film. Just bear with me. So anyway, let's pick up where I stopped when my phone stopped recording for some reason, because I still record these on my phone because I don't have another place to record them right now either. I'm working on all the things, okay? Anyway, so navigating charting as a new nurse is a total pain in the ass. I did not like it because it was a pain in the ass. It was not a fun time. And so I wrote things down. And in the process of writing things down, I felt like I was learning a little bit more. I'd be like, oh, these vitals are this, or oh, this patient's an AFib, and kind of opened my eyes a little bit to different things that maybe if I had just been monotonously typing or clicking through a prompt that were provided through the charting system, that maybe I would have missed or paid less attention to. So as you're navigating charting, write everything down. The worst thing that you're gonna have to do if you can't navigate charting is take everything you've written down and put it in like a patient note and say like, okay, this time did this time did that, as you're trying to figure it out. You obviously don't want that to be the entirety of your charting all the time because it's less efficient, but as you're navigating this, write everything down. It helps you remember things. I am famous for thinking that I'm gonna remember something and that I will go back and chart it later, and I do not chart it later. If it's not written down somewhere or on a sticky note on my computer that day, I'm not gonna rechart it. I'm not gonna remember because 70,000 other things are gonna happen and I'm going to forget that I said that I was going to write it down. I'm gonna forget that I even did it. So yes, don't be like me. Write everything down, chart everything. I can't say this enough. It is okay to ask questions. Always, always ask questions. You are not any less intelligent. You're not any less of an amazing nurse because you ask someone questions. You have to find the right people to ask, and you have to know that you can trust those people's answers because you don't want to make a mistake based on wrong information. So ensure that your answers are coming from someone who's reputable and someone that you trust. But overall, ask all the questions. It can only help you. When I started working, one of the nurses told me, okay, in the first year, I expect you to ask everything. I don't care what it is. This wasn't even my preceptor, by the way. She was like, ask me anything. I don't care. When we get to a year, I expect you to start knowing some things. And if you're still asking me how to put the bed up and down, we're gonna have problems, you know? So that's fair. Get out all your stupid questions because no question is stupid because you don't know until you know, right? So ask everything. If you are not asking questions, you are dangerous. If you think you know everything going into being a new nurse, you are also dangerous because you don't. There's so much that nursing school does not teach us, and there's so much that you learn in how to be a nurse by working as a nurse. So make sure that you know the right people to talk to, you know who to ask questions to, but ultimately ask them all day long and be a safe nurse because that's what you need to do. Be safe, save lives, love people, do good things. You know what I mean? Okay, my friends. My final tip for you today would be to not be so hard on yourself. And I know, like everyone says this, right? But really, truly think about this. School is hard, nursing is hard, passing the NCLEX is hard. You can do hard things. You are very, very capable. And it's okay if it doesn't feel easy at first. Nursing overall is not an easy career. So give yourself some compassion, give yourself some grace, and know that you can absolutely get through this. Like I said, you can do hard things, like me, making these YouTube videos, because this is not easy. I don't know how to edit anything. I'm sorry if my editing is awful and my lighting is flawed. I'm doing my best. All right, my friends, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I truly cannot tell you how much it means to me that you're here watching this, especially if you made it this far, because this video is very long. I'm sorry. But thank you so much. I'm so appreciative. I'm so looking forward to continue making content for you guys and navigating being new nurses together. All right, my friends, I will see you next time. If you feel like it, give me a like or follow or subscribe. Comment down below. Let's talk about stuff, anything. All right, my friends, I will see you next time.